Hello everybody, welcome back to Master Project Part 2. Give me 1 second while I get y'all set up here. Here we go. So over the week I have been working on researching about hydrogen engines for y'all, and as I'm currently filming this, I just got back from a little Easter event, so sorry if the upload's a little bit late. I was also having some issues making this video private. Well, let's get started. I started off by making my first little sketch here. So I'm going to break this down for y'all pretty easily. So the idea behind this, our solar water hydrogen converter, is you have a solar panel here that gets its charge from the sun. This then routes its electricity through something called a charge controller. And the charge controller regulates how much that battery can get charged, and it'll make sure it doesn't overcharge. This guy over here just allows us to connect to the phone. Actually, I do have some of these parts here. Fine, let me go and grab them real quick. Got them. The only difference here is I ordered one of the wrong parts, and not the charge controller, the Bluetooth module. I ordered the wrong one on accident, so pretty much the same thing, just slightly different model because the cable doesn't connect to the charge controller. But the idea here is this will allow you to connect to your phone, like in this sketch in my book. And that will be right over here. Then we also have our charge controller that I've ordered. It is a 10 amp one, so it can hold up some decent charge for our battery. Here you go. So we can monitor everything on our phones, we can power some things, we can power our batteries for the hydrogen and possibly some lights at night if we need it. Then there is also our little connector here. This guy, though, just doesn't really fit. It's like the wrong cable for the wrong thing, so that kind of sucks for me, because I gotta spend more money, but whatever. I'll probably just return it. After that, the rest of the equipment's pretty much in the garage. We have our battery, which I have 6 of them, and I'll be kind of like testing whether I want to do 1 or 2. We'll see how that goes. Then we also have our main converter. So we have our positive wire here, which will generate oxygen. That'll just kind of go into your atmosphere. Then our second one here is our negative. That will go into a collection tank. Then we also have our fresh water being pumped from over here, and this guy just kind of helps the bubbles kind of go over here at the top and make sure that there's not too much mixture and oxygen contamination that can help reduce it. We have our ground, which produces the hydrogen. It'll eventually make about an air bubble up to here is our hope. We don't want it to go too far down and affect the water. But once it goes up, it'll go through a one-way flow valve, so oxygen can only flow one way. It looks a little something like this. This is our one-way flow valve. And so if I were to blow air, I can one way, but if I were to try to blow it the other way, it won't let me. So that's kind of the basic idea of how that works. Then we come to our compression. So that's how these one-way flow valves are going to be able to be used. It's similar to kind of how a gas engine would work. When this arm goes up, actually I have kind of a crappy sketch over here. When this arm goes up, that'll bring the piston up, and then the one-way flow valve will get be affected by the vacuum. It'll suck in the hydrogen, and then the water can fill. Then when the piston arm goes back down, that will push it so then it can't backfire. It can only go one way, so it'll be forced to go into our H2 or H1, depending on how much hydrogen we produce. I believe it would be H2 since it's 2 hydrogen per bubble, and 1 oxygen. Then we can just put a little PSI regulator here, and we'll be able to track our pressure and just have our valve to open and close our pressure tank. So that's how you can make a workable machine. There is some more science behind it, but I then also designed a engine that can run off of this hydrogen right here. The idea here is you have your hydrogen already being pumped in. This is kind of like a control valve, typically for like a carburetor kind of, and that'll control like on your pedal how much hydrogen you let in. So this valve is currently in the closed position. If it's open, you would be able to see all of it. This is just a side view. Now for here, the hydrogen would then flow in, and this would be your intake valve. So this will open whenever that carburetor opens and the piston goes down. And then this will be your oxygen that will also mix in. And that should hit whenever it goes up. That'll cause a compression. Your spark plug will go off right here, igniting it, and then creating one rotation, and then the exhaust will go out this way. It's called an internal combustion engine, also ICE, if you want to call it for short. I did write everything labeled here, and it did take a while to draw this one. This is my kind of 3D, this is my first 3D sketch I made of the solar module charging, if you want to see it a bit better. I did not put in the Bluetooth module because I got to order a new one. But here it goes through the controller. You can see it goes straight to the battery, and it'll be able to go into the solar. So that's an easier idea of how that solar would be able to charge your batteries. I do not have any more sketches yet because it is a long process, but I've made a lot of progress while building the prototype, and I'll take you right to that. This prototype is still like very early building stages, so this will be our main water tank. The only thing I've really done is put our positive cable, which we're going to run a wire through here, and then there'll be our grade 2 titanium rod. The reason it is grade 2 titanium is because it won't be able to corrode. So it'll kind of sit like that. I haven't really put it together, but it'll be able to sit right there and generate our oxygen, while the other titanium rod will sit in the other tank. This is our compression one that I'm working on right now, so I gotta order more Flex Seal, but it just ran out. I don't know if I have any more. Let's see. Yeah, it's empty. Oh, moth. But this will be holding our compression. I'm gonna cut a hole in the top. 1 second, it's a little stuck. I'm gonna cut a hole in the top for us so we can, there we go. Oh, that's a lot of Flex Seal. So we can put our little piston, so that's going to go up here, and this will be where it makes it all. So it's going to take a few cycles of making hydrogen before it's going to have zero oxygen contamination, so it's going to kind of have to run for a bit before it's ready to be used. Other things I do have are the batteries. Those have all been ordered, and our cables and tubing is all getting built, so it's going to be kind of a long process before this all gets completely finished. But hopefully this all goes well. Part 2. Thanks for watching.